This is on sea hares for marine. So this is why I got the sea hare in the first place. As you can see, there's some hare algae. This tank is established for like 6 months, but the tank water is from an old tank that was a year old, so there was beneficial bacteria. I had to change the sand because it was a new tank as well, and the old rock came with it. Plus I obviously, before I had a canister, and now I've set up a sump with a skimmer, bubble magnus. I think it's a 130. It's rated, I think it's up to 100 gallons. Mine's probably running about 45 gallons max. Bi-pellet reactor, bubble magnus. Got here, you can just barely see, sorry about the light. Live rock, I'm going to put some more in there. Got some activated carbon, which is just cut it down to size. I've got a filter sock as well, 100 micron, which I change out every 2 days. And I put them in the wash with no detergent, dry them out and then reuse them. Should probably have some extras on standby, the UV sterilizer. Anyway, sorry, get back to the topic. This is on sea hares. So as you can see, my sea hare there, had him about a week and a half. You can see he's kind of standing, it's strange. I didn't know much about these creatures, but they're fascinating. Basically the top here, that was all grass, like sea hare algae, and that's all been cleared by him. He's got this back bit to do, but the current's quite strong there, so I might have to try and figure something out for that. I've got some algae growing on the rock there on a piece of coral, which I'll bring down. But he's working on all of that there, and he's doing a good job, because all of this was smothering the corals, and once he's finished, he'll go back to the fish store. As you can see, that's his mouth there and his horns, and he's got 2 little eyes. You can't really see them on the camera. They're like little dots. They might be, they're there just to the side, hang on. Anyway, they're just there somewhere. And that's his, that's him feeding that. So the carers, they need lots of algae to eat. They're voracious eaters. In a week and a half, he's cleaned, you know, a third of the tank. Once he's finished, as I said, he'll go back to the store and they'll rehome him. You have to be gentle with them, put them in the tank, leave them, let them do their own thing. If you don't see them, fine. Obviously, you don't want them to be sucked down the filter, the hole, you know, for siphoning or stuck on a propeller or anything like that. He did go towards one of the propellers there, but it was further down. And there was a piece of rock and he was leaning onto it, so I kind of blew some water onto him to get him off and then pulled it up to get him away from it. They can spray some sort of dye, blue dye in the water if they feel threatened. It can crash a tank apparently, but just leave him to it. You know, bag him up, pick him up gently. They like, when the light's gone down, this is at like 8-9 o'clock, so the lights are going down now for night time, and I think they're in more of a nighttime eater. And he was in that rock there, squeezed all the way in the back there, and he was under there as well. They don't like too much light, and they will come out when they're ready. So if you don't see them for a day or two, don't worry about it. Also, when I put them in the tank, he was right up the top here, and his head was sticking out of the water. It wasn't coming out the top of the tank, as in going to climb out, but he was up there for a couple of days and didn't want to come down. In the end, he did come down on his own accord. I actually moved him once and put him back down in the sand bed, and he still went back up there. So leave them to it, and they will do what they want to do. If you've got an open tank, to keep an eye on them, make sure they don't climb out, but you're not going to be able to keep an eye on the tank 24 hours a day. So if you've got a canopy or a net, great, then obviously he shouldn't come out. But so far he's doing what you know needed. I paid about £20 for him. I think it should have been about 25. Yeah, any questions, queries, ask your local fish store. Generally they wouldn't have these in, I've never seen them before. You have to pre-order them. Just if you're friendly with a fish store and they're getting them from their local pickup place, wherever that may well be, then ask them, see if they'll get you one in. Thank you, bye.